Welcome to the Elevating La Cultura podcast, a space where I talk with Latinas who are passionate about what they do and are willing to share that passion with others to change the narrative, especially for the next generation. Each season is centered around different topics, but all with the Latina perspective. Welcome to Season 9, where we will talk about reflecting on personal stories and letting our brilliance shine. I'm so excited to share these powerful conversations. So vámonos, and let's get into it. Hey, I cannot believe we made it to the end of Season 9. That's 9 seasons over the past 3 years. I'm so grateful to all my listeners for continued support and for taking us over 7,200 downloads. And to all my guests this season who have taken time out of their days to share their stories to inspire others. This season, we featured phenomenal mujeres who are sharing their brilliance, their passion, their expertise, and their wisdom with others in their community. Because we don't gatekeep around here. We learn, we grow, and then we pour back into our communities. Speaking of, Stephanie shared in episode 105 how she has taken her own experiences and is advocating for the youth in Chicago to have more access to support as they navigate their educational journey. And she is also pushing past her fears to lean into her calling by building an amazing community through intentional book clubs to facilitate much needed raw conversations. Talk about generational healing. Speaking of healing generations, Dalia Quintanilla is also using her voice to advocate for kids by uncovering the disparities when it comes to foundational education. My daughter heard her interview on episode 103 and was inspired to include her story for her final project for school, where they share about a change maker that they're inspired by. I was so proud of her for choosing to write and feature Dalia. It's been such an amazing experience for me to connect with people all over the country and share the stories of their growth and connections with others. And even though it's not near equal, it's exciting to hear about the representation growing, especially in the STEM space. Dr. Violeta Garcia on episode 99 was a perfect guest to kick off the season as a scientist calling out patterns and systems rooted in unconscious, subconscious, and latent biases within academic and professional spaces that she was a part of. Now that takes strength and tenacity, and I'm so grateful to all of those doing work in the diversity, equity, and inclusion space because it is not easy. And my conversation with Cynthia on episode 101 shows the continued need to help and support BIPOC authors to share their stories. It's so exciting to be able to celebrate with Latina authors as they launch new books, gain new deals, and create more of an opportunity for others in our communities. Vanessa on episode 104 shared vulnerably how her past experiences have influenced her desire to devote her business to educating not only her own generation about fitness, but also the generations before us so we could have a more multi-generational shift when it comes to understanding fitness. And not only am I making connections with Latinas across the country, but also deepening relationships here in Chicago. From the first time I met Margarita Lopez in person, I could feel such a joyful light coming from her. Even through our Instagram messages, I knew she was full of life and was someone I wanted to be friends with. And if you follow her on social media and see her joy, know that she is just as amazing in real life. On episode 100, she shares how her passion to educate her community about the home buying economy is a huge piece in how she goes about her business. I mean, she's the real deal for sure. And I can relate to Erica from episode 102 so much in her desire to reclaim her cultural legacy while educating others to travel ethically. I love to see the representation in the travel blogging space, and it's beautiful to see Erica setting the example on traveling with intention, curiosity, and gratitude. And I don't want to get too ahead of myself, but a collab could be in our future. And as I write this episode, I'm immersed in the beautiful scent of a San Maris candle. Alicia from episode 107 shares the beauty behind the San Maris brand, making her products that much more special. It truly touches my heart when I hear about cultural spiritual gifts continuing through the generations. It reminds me of the quote, "They tried to bury us, but they didn't know we were seeds." I low-key wish Alicia lived closer to Chicago because I'm sure we would hang out like all the time. You see how this season was filled with brilliance. It just makes me so incredibly happy to share these stories, to share inspiration, and to elevate our voices. And if you didn't listen to last week's episode with Ruby, first of all, you should, because it's a good conversation. But second of all, I shared that Elevating La Cultura is getting a rebrand. I've been thinking about doing a rebrand for a while, but I'm also super intentional about who I work with. And I also wanted to be in the right space to communicate this vision and mission of Elevating La Cultura. And let me just say that from the moment I saw Ruby Creative Co's work, I knew I had found my designer. It was amazing working with Ruby. As I shared on episode 108, I loved that she really cared about the design process and really got to know where Elevating La Cultura started and how it's grown. During the summer, I'm going to be doing a whole revamp of the website, but for now, you'll start seeing the new branding roll out on social media. And if you follow me on Instagram and LinkedIn, Ruby shared a beautiful post announcing the new brand design on Monday. I'm so excited to share all the assets, new fonts, colors, pretty much all the things. As I close out another season, I'm forever grateful you joined me in listening. I'll be coming back after the summer with season 10, but in the meantime, you can binge listen to all 9 seasons and stay connected with me on Instagram. And check the website elevatinglacultura.com for our comadre brunches or dinners throughout the summer. You'll also be able to join us for 2 big events this summer. The Cuentos Reframed Summit, in partnership with Our Latina Lens, is a 3-day summit filled with photography workshops, workshops for creatives and content creators, panel discussions, photo walks, and plenty of networking opportunities. You can join us July 26th to 28th for all 3 days, just 2 days, or just 1 day. Check ourlatinalens.com for all the info and to get your ticket. I'm also working with Giovanna to host our second Latina Brilliance Summit. The first one we hosted back in March was an amazing success. So we are stepping it up and putting even more amazingness into this 1-day event. We'll be talking about tech, finance, entrepreneurship, and also starting and ending the day with intentional self-care practices. For now, you can join the wait list. The tickets will be announced soon, but you can join the waitlist at latinabrilliance.com. Now, tickets sold out for our event in March, so don't miss out on our September event. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention, save the date, September 7th is going to be our Latina Brilliance Summit. I'm also bringing back the mentorship program, Showing Up Latina in Business, which will be launching in August. More details on that will be coming soon. So as you can see, this is going to be a fun and packed summer. Make sure to stay in touch. Okay, amigos, thank you so much for listening. After you listen, feel free to take a screenshot, post on Instagram, and tag at Elevating La Cultura, or send me a DM. You can also comment on this YouTube video if you're watching online. I always like to hear from people and how they resonate with the stories that I share. So leave a review on Apple Podcasts so we can get more ears listening to these stories and we can continue elevating La Cultura. All right, enjoy the rest of your day, afternoon, evening, whenever you're listening, y nos vemos pronto. Bye.